Kia ora koutou and welcome to the Hawke's Bay Business Growth and Support Virtual Conference. My name's Angela Caves. I'm the Digital Boost Events Manager. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us today. It's wonderful to have you all here. Today's day one of our conference and we've had a wonderful opening ceremony start at 1 p.m. today, followed by a presentation from our collaborating partners at Connected. And I'll introduce you to our Connected representative shortly. We are joined today by the regional business partners, and I will introduce our presenter to you very, very shortly. I'm just going to hand over to Tessa Williams, who is the Employment Liaison Advisor for Connected. Tessa is our collaborating partner for the conference, and Tessa is going to talk to us about how the webinar format is going to run and what we're all here to do. Thanks, Tess.
Kia ora koutou. Yeah, so with the webinar, you can see us and hear us. We can't see or hear you. So feel free to roll your eyes, pop any questions in the Q&A or in the chat, and I'll be manning that if you have any questions or thoughts as well. That's all from me.
Thank you so much, Tess. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to Jenny Brown, who is the Growth Advisor for the Regional Business Partners Network in the Hawke's Bay region. I'm sure that Jenny is going to be sharing her wealth of knowledge, having been supporting Hawke's Bay businesses for 17 years in the region. So if you don't know Jenny, you should. Jenny and her team have a database of over 2,500 businesses that they're supporting. So welcome, Jenny, and thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to have you here with us, and we really look forward to hearing all about the Regional Business Partners Network.
Great stuff, thanks Angela. Ko Jenny Brown aho, no Regional Business Partners aho. Kia ora everyone. My name's Jenny Brown. I'm a Growth Advisor in the RBP team here at the Business Hub in Ahuriri. Now let me just try and do the tech. There we go. Can you see a slide with a lady on it saying growth starts here? Oh,
we can. We just need you to.
There
we go.
There we go. Okay, it's a pleasure to be part of the Hawke's Bay Business Growth and Support Conference, and I'm delighted to outline the support that's available through regional business partners. Now, firstly, no need to adjust your headphones or the speakers on your computer. I have a hint of a Scottish accent. 17 years based here in Te Matau-a-Māui, and I've still not lost that Scottishness. We've just knocked a few corners off it. In this webinar, I'm going to cover the who, the what, the how of RBP, and actually chat a wee bit about some case studies of businesses that we've worked with, and then I'd be delighted to take any questions should there be some. Okay, here we go. A little bit background. RBP are based at the Business Hub in Ahuriri. As you can see by some of the images on the slides, there's quite a lot of meetings that happen there. We have a range of meeting rooms and hot desks that are for hire, meeting rooms that can accommodate 2 people, boardrooms that can take up to 12, and we've got training rooms and a conference room, and we often hold workshops and network events that are based here. A little bit of background on the hub. So 7 years ago, there was a survey of Hawke's Bay businesses, and it was to understand the constraints for growth and what were the opportunities that local government and councils could do. It was highlighted that business support agencies were spread all across the regions, and so businesses had to have conversations in Hastings, conversations in Havelock and Napier, repeat discussions, and often with some of these agencies there was some duplication and overlap. So the hub was developed to resolve such duplication and to encourage collaboration and joint meetings, which often occur. So on this slide, you can see we've got around about 18 business support entities and programs that are represented at the hub. There's a mixture of central government, so there's MB, there's NZTE, Trade and Enterprise, regional business partners. There's also local government, so all the various councils, and there's membership organisations such as Chamber of Commerce, Export New Zealand. We all have the same goal, which is to help businesses grow, but we all have a slightly different focus. So some businesses focus on research and development, some businesses focus on training, some businesses focus on health and safety. So I'd really encourage you to pop in, have a look around and see the meeting rooms and understand the organisations that are based here. We also have a good coffee machine, so if that's not going to be a draw card, don't know what is. Okay, what is Regional Business Partners? Regional Business Partners is a central government funded programme. So we are funded by MB and Callaghan Innovation, and we're delivered across the country by a range of local organisations. So it varies from region to region, but that could be the Economic Development Agency in that region. It could be a council. It could be a Chamber of Commerce. In Hawke's Bay, we're funded by, or we're employed by the Regional Council, but we fly under the Hawke's Bay Business Hub banner. We work with businesses from Waipukurau to Wairoa, and we are a network of partners that can connect you to the right information and the right expertise at the right time for your business. So everything's at your pace, at your speed. It's a little bit of a coloured slide, but I was mixing it up. Okay, so at Regional Business Partners, there are 3 ways we can help your business. So the first one is through connections and capability development. So linking you into resources and helping you tap into training expertise to help you grow your own business skills. There can be some funding that you could access for this training, and we'll go into that on a later slide. The second way we can help your business through RBP is we represent Callaghan Innovation. Callaghan is the government's innovation agency, and we fly the flag of what Callaghan has to offer, and we hold the hand of any business that's undertaking innovation or R&D, and we link you into either the grants or the programs or the R&D technical expertise that is available. And lastly, we also represent Business Mentors New Zealand, and we raise awareness of the programme, of the benefits, and link you in to the support available through that. Okay, so the how. How do you tap into RBP? It's easy, just register on the website, regionalbusinesspartners.co.nz. Then one of our team will get in touch and have a conversation about your business. Some businesses come with an idea of the help that they want, such as I need to do a bit of business planning, or I need to attract more customers. How do I do that? Or I've got an idea, but I need to get online. How do I do that? Or I need to grow my own skills and confidence with, say, numbers or financials or how to manage people. Alternately, some people come with no idea of the help that they're looking for. So we have a conversation to get a snapshot of how your business is doing at that point in time. And we call that a discovery session. We ask questions around what's your service, what's your product, who are your customers, who are your competitors, what is your opportunity to grow, or what keeps you awake? What keeps you awake at night? What are your challenges? Here's the process of RBP. So you have a confidential discussion with a growth advisor. So we're confidential, we're impartial, we're not pushing our own services, and we're free. So we're government funded. Pre-COVID, these conversations were always in person and could be anything from 30 minutes to an hour and a half. But pre-COVID, post-COVID, we're really cognizant that people are time poor. We're also aware that people are a lot more comfortable with technology now. So a lot of our conversations can be through Zoom, but really we just follow your lead of what you want. If you want to talk in person, we'll talk in person and you come on over to the hub. During our discovery conversations, we identify areas of need and what are your priorities in your business. The growth advisor then develops an action plan, summarising the discussions, identifying your priorities, your needs, and then we provide you with options that can support your business. These could be initiatives, local initiatives, national initiatives. These could be training providers. That's really our job. We give you options, basically opportunities for you to consider that could help your business grow. What's really important is this is more than just a one-off discussion. This is hopefully an ongoing relationship. So a post-action plan, and we've always got a follow-up of where we check in. How was that training? How did that go? How are things just now? What's next? Basically, we're just trying to reinforce you're not alone, because it can be very lonely in business. This slide outlines the type of information that can go into an action plan, but highlighting this is not an exhaustive list. This really just gives you a flavour of the types of information that we can provide you, and it's customised to our discussions. So we're not just going to send you a big list of links and say off you go. We make it pertinent to what's important to you. So clearly we put in the resources that are available through RBP. So if it's capability development, you're looking to undertake some training to grow your own skills, we put information in about that. If you're looking to undertake some research and development and you're interested in grant funding or expertise, we'll put information in this. We put information in regarding central government and local initiatives that your business could benefit from or being part of. And thankfully through this conference, you're going to be able to hear a lot of these amazing resources that are available in the Hawke's Bay region. I'm just going to jump to what is capability development funding. This is one of the tools in the RBP toolbox, and it's really funding for business management training. So if it comes out of your discovery discussion that you could benefit for training in a certain business skill, you could access funding to work with a training provider who is approved under the RBP programme. And listed on this slide are just some overview of the types of topics that I would class as business acumen. So business planning, marketing, digital, sales, finance, leadership, people management. I think what's really important to highlight here is you would be working with a training provider, an external consultant, but the funding is to upskill you. It is not paying someone to do it for you. So someone to write your business plan and it gets put on a shelf. This is all about skills transfer. So this capability development funding is about growing you, enabling you to then grow your business. You can see we've got some eligibility criteria on here. To be able to access the funding, it can be up to $5,000 co-funding that is available. However, realistically, we have limited it to $2,000 co-funding per company because we've just had such high demand over that COVID period. In Hawke's Bay, we have around 180 approved training providers that cover all these topics. And it's really important to understand that every person likes to learn differently. Every business owner, every senior manager likes to learn differently. Some people like to do, you know, a one-day course, and this is enough. This is a shot in the arm to get them on the right direction, and off they go and can implement any changes that their business requires. However, some businesses like to work one-on-one with a business coach over a period of months. It kind of gives them accountability. I love it when I hear businesses say they've got to go and do some homework because they were working with a coach who's due in tomorrow. And there even are some, there are businesses that love to be part of a group and learning with a group of peers, another group of business owners. It's here that the RBP Growth Advisor can assist you to identify the suitable training provider for you and your needs. And that's the value of our relationship. We've had that half-hour discussion with you. We understand what's going on in your business, what's important to you, and that's when we suggest 2 or 3 training providers that could work for you. Okay. I'm just going to watch my time because I've been doing quite a bit of chatting. Okay, so the second tool in our toolbox, we'll call it, is regional business partners. We represent business mentors in Hawke's Bay. So you could tap into a pool of experienced business people who can bring a vast array of different skills and experience. And in Hawke's Bay, we've got 30 business mentors who bring experience from retail or manufacturing, IT, business services sectors. And these individuals volunteer their time and they can help you navigate the challenges that you are facing on your business. This is not so much of a training relationship as we just previously outlined in the capability development. This is more of a lighter touch sounding board, but it can add so much more value. There's a nominal fee of $295 and it covers the 12-month period, and really all that cost is for is just the admin cost of matching you with a mentor that best suits your needs. There is also the possibility of having 2 mentors bringing different skills. So if you were in retail, but you wanted, you were struggling in the marketing side, you could have a marketing strength and a retail experience mentor. So you work with 2 people. If you're interested in knowing more about Business Mentors Programme, please go into the Business Mentors website, www.businessmentors.org.nz. And I notice I haven't put that on that slide. So it'd be great if someone could put that in the chat for me. Thanks, Angela. Right. Callaghan Innovation. So I have to flag now, Callaghan Innovation is my sweet spot. This is my role that I do about 90% of the time, and I could talk for another hour about it. So it's been quite hard for me to cut this right down. Callaghan Innovation is the government's innovation agency, and our purpose is to activate innovation and help businesses grow faster for a better New Zealand. So the RBP, we highlight the support and the programs that Callaghan has to offer to Hawke's Bay businesses, and any businesses that are interested in growing through technical or scientific research and development and innovation should be working with Callaghan Innovation because there's an awful lot to offer. It's our role to help Hawke's Bay businesses navigate their way through the R&D ecosystem, because Callaghan Innovation's only one entity. So there's all sorts of research entities, there's all sorts of universities, and it's our job to hold your hand and get you to talk to the right people at the right time and make sure things are going in the direction you want it to go. So why does the government have an innovation agency? The slide says it all. New Zealand needs to help our businesses innovate and grow, and to understand how technology and R&D can help your business grow. So Callaghan has a range of ways that we work with businesses, and the slide outlines these main services. So we have a range of R&D solutions. So we have over 200 top scientists and engineers based in big research facilities in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. We also help businesses grow their innovation skills, enabling businesses to improve performance and reduce inefficiencies. And we also have a range of funding programs that businesses can tap into to enable you to, prove concepts, develop prototypes, undertake trials. Now, I'm just going to touch very briefly on some of these because I could really give an awful lot of detail. So focusing on the R&D solutions team, what's on the slide is the specialist skills area. We have a lot of expertise around advanced materials, advanced manufacturing, the Internet of Things and data solutions, and I'm covering, I can't see it, and biotechnology expertise. There are researchers here. It is a fee for service. So if you have a concept, but you don't have an expert, there could be someone with expertise in any of these pillars, if you like. We can introduce you to these experts, and then there could be funding available for them to undertake some work for you to progress your R&D. The innovation skills programs, so we've got Lean, we get Digital Lean, Build for Speed, Capital Education, and Innovation IP. You might have heard of Lean. That's probably the most well-known, and that's really where businesses can identify what is waste in your business. It could be materials, it could be product, it could be time, and all of these add up to lost profits. I always look at Lean as steadying the ship. Once you've steadied the ship and plugged the gaps, then you've got a good firm foundation to innovate and undertake R&D. Another one that people have heard of is this Innovation IP program, and that's really giving you guidance on how to manage your IP. And IP isn't always about patents. It can be about your processes, your trade secrets, what's in your head, what's in your people's heads, and how to manage this and protect it and to leverage it, make money from it. Funding. Everybody likes to know a bit about the R&D grant funding that Callaghan has. So a couple of years ago, the government launched the R&D tax incentive, which is run through the IRD. And this is a 15% rebate for all R&D spend that businesses can claim back at the end of their financial year. We have the other 3 grants listed there are really suitable for businesses at all ages and all stages. So a Getting Started grant is a small $5,000 grant, and really you could look at that as a if a business was kicking the tires of a concept. So you can undertake a small technical feasibility study, maybe work with an expert to prove your concept and determine, is it worthwhile to spend more time and money on it. An R&D project grant, that's 40% funding. And these are more for larger scale R&D projects, and these can actually go across multiple years. For example, if it was something like for the horticulture sector. And the last project, the last program is the student grant. We've had some really great success with the student grants in Hawke's Bay, because students can bring additional skills into a business for a short period of time and make a big difference. So they could be anything from 10 weeks if it was an undergrad student during a summer internship, or it could be a 12-month if it was a student undertaking a master's, or even a PhD, and it could be 36 months. These extra skills enables you to grow your R&D horsepower. It's also good for a wee Hawke's Bay business to dip their toe in the water. You can kick the tires of a potential new employee, and you see if you like them and fit with your team or your culture, and vice versa. And more often than not, our students end up being full-time employees at the end of projects. And from a Callaghan side, the reason we fund students is we want them to remain in New Zealand. Before COVID, there was basically a brain drain because we weren't paying the wages that were being offered offshore. And so what we were doing was sharing the risk, if you like, with businesses, so that they can get a taster of working with students for a period of time, and then understand the benefit and happy to then continue investing. that's an awful lot of information from me. So let's just talk about some companies I've worked with. I'm really lucky. I get to see, or we as the team, the RBP team, we get to meet some amazing people doing amazing things. Here I've got 3 companies who are happy for me to talk about them and mention them. And what I want to do by talking about these 3 companies is to show how capability development and Callaghan Innovation R&D and business mentors all work together. Because I mean, being brutal, there is no point in spending money in research and development if you have no idea on how you're going to commercialize it and take it to market. If you're going to spend money and then it's going to sit in a shelf, it's more about if you can undertake some capability development funding to help build a plan around it. You can do the business acumen, business planning side at the same time as the R&D side. So I'll kick off with Ultrella. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's a beautiful product. It's a natural deodorant with no nasty chemicals in it. I met the wonderful Mel Lewis 5 years ago when she had been playing around in her kitchen with a pan on the stove, making different formulations. And what we did is we worked with Mel to tap into a Callaghan Innovation R&D grant to work with a formulation chemist and to get some analysis done of her product just to make it the best that it could be, and so that it actually does work as a deodorant and it was shelf stable. It wasn't going to split and fall apart and be a bit yucky when a customer got it if it got too warm on the shelves. Now, at the same time, Mel was new to running her own business. And so we hooked Mel in to working with a business group to help around the sort of business planning and the financial cash flow management. And they met on a monthly basis as a group. So that is a case of tapping into capability development funding and tapping into the Callaghan Innovation R&D. Hort Plus, a wonderful man and woman software business over in Hastings. They have they gather data from weather stations, and they supply information to orchardists and growers to enable decision making on should we spray for pests today, or rust and mold today. What's the weather doing today? What's it do? What did it do yesterday? What's it doing over the next few days? Is it going to rain and wash everything away, etc., etc.? Is it muggy and then there's a predominance for mold or rust? So working with Hort Plus, we linked them into some student grants, and it was quite hard to find some IT students that were based in Hawke's Bay, so they tapped into some students down in Wellington. That actually went so well that the business employed the 2 students, and they now still are based in Wellington. So there's a satellite office of Hort Plus down in Wellington. And so they've doubled their team, doubled their horsepower. At the same time, we provided them with capability development funding to work with a business coach. Again, it comes down to accountability on a monthly basis, someone who's helping you look at the numbers. Can we look at the growth? How can we fund the growth? What's happening next? And it's growing your own business skills to grow your own business. And lastly, Hortigator. I love this logo. It's fantastic. This is Brendan, who is an expert in his own right. He's a startup. He is technical expert in his own right that was in the horticulture sector. So he would help some of the big growers run their own research and development programs, etc., and he would manage it for them. He saw an opportunity for developing a product that could water newly planted trees or vines that have been put into an established row. So you would understand that needs of a new plant is very different from the needs of a established plant that's been there for 3 or 4 years. So Brendan developed an amazing concept, but he needed to actually see if it worked. So he's tapped into some Callaghan funding to undertake some trials over an 18-month period and produce some prototypes, put them actually out in the field, in an orchard and in a vineyard, and then do some measurements to see is his hortigator accelerating the growth of these new plants, and basically the mortality rates, these they're not going to be too dry. Now at the same time, Brendan has a fantastic knowledge of technical side of things, but from a commercial side of things, he was looking for some support or advice around a plan to take to market plan and a marketing plan. So he's now working with a business mentor, an amazing business mentor, and she is supporting him on how to take this to market and how to do the numbers around this to make sure that they're not going to stretch their resources too far. So I hope that's quite interesting and brings it to life. And now I'm really aware of time. And this is just a summary slide. I've covered an awful lot. And so let's just go through it once again. Regional business partners. We work with businesses of all sizes and stages to identify areas of opportunity and challenge. We'll help by providing an action plan that can give you recommendations and options. We cover the areas of capability development and where there could be some funding for training, upskilling of you. Callaghan Innovation, funds for innovation and research and development, and we can help you tap into Business Mentors New Zealand. Websites there for regional business partners. If you find you've registered before but you can't remember who your contact is, please email us at rbp@hbbusinesshub.co.nz and one of our team will be in touch. That's an awful lot talking from me.
That was incredible. Thank you so much, Jenny. And you are a wealth of knowledge, and we are very, very lucky to have you. And we do have a few questions, so you're not done talking yet, if that's okay.
Oh, good.
First question, do you support startups?
Yes. So
sorry, feel free to have your drink. You can breathe.
Oh, yes, we do. So if a startup registered in regional business partners, whether it is a technical startup, you know, someone with an idea and they want to tap into Callaghan Innovation funding, I deal with an awful lot of startups, but also our business growth advisors can give an outline of the lay of the land, all the support that's available for business startups. And again, a lot of that is going to be outlined at this conference over the next few days. What I will highlight is a startup couldn't tap into the capability funding just because you need to be a commercial, a trading entity and GST registered with an NZBN number. However, the funding isn't the be all and end all. It's all about the connections. It's all about the options. There's all sorts of cheap and cheerful workshops that take place here at the Business Hub. I didn't mean that to sound derogatory. There's a lot of good value for money workshops that can be just exactly what your business needs. A couple of hours, $30, $50, and it puts you on the right road, on the right journey to get your business up and running.
Awesome. And where can we keep up with all the events? I think I know this answer, but
if you are registered through regional business partners, we send out a newsletter, but we always recommend to make sure that you're registered on the Business Hub newsletter as well, and they cover any events that are being held here at the Hub or being held by any of the organisations based at the Hub. So we cover the Chamber of Commerce and Business Central and any other events that are being run here.
It is a great newsletter, and I'm not one to love a newsletter, but another part for you. In terms of when you sign up for regional business partners, how often do you meet your advisor? Is there sort of a limited number of sessions, or?
No. Again, we follow you. We're dictated by what your needs are. I mean, we're not going to do the doing. We're the middleman. We're the conduit to all the expertise that's out there, all the different resources that are out there. But we can be a sounding board, if you like, and we can be a sanity check. I've got client files that are kind of this thick of businesses that I've dealt with over the years of coming back and forth and back and forth. It's great to have these long-standing relationships. And it's all about you and your needs. And if COVID's shown us anything, businesses pivot and change direction. You're going down one path and you think you know everything about about your supply chain and your path to market, but everything can change, and then you could have a need in an area you didn't expect. So that's when people that I may not have spoken to for 6 years could come back and say, hi, I remember we got support previously for X. I'm now interested in understanding more about export markets. And so we provide information on what they're looking for.
Awesome, that's so great. In terms of the capability development co-funding to upskill, what are the most commonly wanted or needed or recommended skills out of that?
Business planning. If I'm perfectly honest, it should all start with a business plan. You need to know where you're going, and you need to know how you're going to do it. And how you're going to fund that. I'm always have reservations if someone comes in and wants funding for I want to do some Facebook training or something like that, but if they're hemorrhaging money out the other side, or their customers are all disappearing and doing something different, you need to look at the business strategy first. So strategy, but also digital at the moment. Over these last couple of years, digital awareness, not just social media. There's an awful lot more to digital marketing than Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So it's understanding how to leverage these tools and how to get your business online and maximizing that. And that's one of the reasons we refer to Digital Boost an awful lot. And it really is one of these resources that you dip your toe in the water and you could go further and further and further. And Digital Boost is one of these. You could have no skills and barely navigate your way around the keyboard, or you could go to advanced user level and there's still information that's pertinent in there.
Yeah, and anyone who's interested in that, obviously we've got Digital Boost up next, so perfect segue, but I've still got more questions. In terms of the innovation skills programs, we've got 3 questions. Can I do them all? What's the cost and how long do they run for?
They are all different. And that sounds like a real scapegoat answer, but that's exactly it. They're all different. Please email me. Actually, first of all, the Callaghan Innovation website gives a lot of information on there. So there's a innovation skills section, and it gives a good infographic on each. But actually, email me. I can give you more information around it, and introduce you to the various program managers and find a way to hook you into that support.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenny. They all vary. That's the answer. Perfect. That's all the questions from me. But before Ange closes us, I just want to massively thank you for all the massive work you do every day and for putting it all together today. It's been so awesome, and you've been a fundamental part of bringing together the conference too.
No worries.
I'll pass it back to Ange.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Jenny. I mean, it's wonderful. Like Tessa said, it's just amazing to hear about the support products that are out there and how many of them. And I guess, you know, if you're new to business, or even if you're not new, sometimes, you know, you just don't know what you don't know. And so joining something like this is a wonderful way to hear about what is available, and then connecting with one of your growth advisors or business mentors to get more information. You know, it's so great to have somebody there who can, you know, help you take stock of where your organization is at, and then help you with the plan moving forward. What's the priority? So yeah, like I said, audience, we've got Jenny with 17 years knowledge sitting there. Please make use of her and her team. So that wraps up our regional business partners session. We do have, like Tessa said, we've got Digital Boost up next. So starting at 3 o'clock, please join us if you can. And then over the next couple of days, we've got a bunch of other sessions from our government agencies coming up on Thursday. And then tomorrow, we've got a few more local organisations and New Zealand Trade and Enterprise joining us. So please head to Connected website. Tessa might be able to just quickly drop that in the chat for us. Yeah, so 3 o'clock this afternoon, Digital Boost, and then we've got the Hawke's Bay Chamber on at 4 o'clock. So we'd love to have you join us. And it's just been a pleasure to bring Jenny to you today, and to share the knowledge about what's available for your business. So once again, thank you for joining us. It's been wonderful to have you, and that brings our session to a close. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.